Hey everybody, and welcome to the PlantStock channel. If we haven't met yet, my name is Jesse. Today I thought I would talk about Else Nutrition. It's been a while since I talked about them last, but a subscriber asked me if I could just talk about the latest Q2 report. So I thought I would do that. And also just give my opinion if I think it's a buy at the moment. As always, I would truly appreciate an early thumbs up since it does help the channel. And if you want to subscribe to the channel and you are interested in the plant-based sector, companies like Else Nutrition, maybe the Very Good Food Company, Tattoo Chef, or Oatly to name a few, make sure to subscribe and don't forget that bell button. Thank you folks, I truly appreciate your help. So if we just take a quick look at the stock chart, ticker symbol BABY.V in the Canadian TSXV, we can see right now it is trading down about 1.5%. It's sitting at 2.75%. And if we take a look at the last 6 months, well, it's certainly been a roller coaster. Nothing surprising considering the overall market. And if we take a look at the market today, the S&P 500 is down, Dow 30 is down, NASDAQ actually started to go up, but it went down before, and Russell 2000. So nothing weird here. If other markets are down, you can bet that usually a disruptive company, when it is a market that is very uncertain, you'll see it getting a lot of pain. And that's what we're seeing here right now. Now, there might be some of you who don't know what this company is about. Well, it's a plant-based company that focus on making powder products for children. Right now for toddlers and kids. And they're 100% plant-based, they're vegan, they're organic, they're GMO-free, and they're also gluten-free and apparently also corn syrup-free. So it's an overall product that is healthy for the young ones. And it's mostly whole food ingredients, mostly buckwheat, almond, and tapioca. We're going to talk more about their products more later. But if we begin with taking a look at their second quarter 2020 results, and I must say for most people they're actually blowing it out of the house here. Very impressive indeed. If we just take a look at the revenues first, quarterly revenues were 1.1 million Canadian dollars compared to the year before, year over year, about 210,000. So that's about a 400% increase, specifically 430% increase, which is very impressive indeed. There's no question about that. But like a lot of companies that are out there that are disruptive and just gotten in the game, it is trading at a loss at the moment. There's no profit margins to talk about at this point. But if we take a look at the overall cash flow, it's about $18 million. Canadian dollars, again, 17.9 here. And as the company states here, the company had no loans liabilities as June 30, 2021. And the CEO commented she was very happy about this. Quote, "I'm very proud of our achievements this quarter. We continue to demonstrate rapid growth in our online business while we successfully launched many more retail stores, reaching 1,000 listed stores. We successfully launched our second product line and grew our product range, and we can expect growth to continue and accelerate throughout the remainder of the year." So in all, in that way, it looks really good. Again, guys, impressive with 430%. No matter what kind of business, if you get these kind of increases year over year, you need to be impressed. There's no question about that. But there is something that bothers me a bit, and that is what they got from Q1 of this year in 2020. If we go in and take a look there, they got about the same number, 1.135 million. And this time it was actually a bit less. So that in itself is not very impressive. We normally want to see a growth company growing over the quarters as well. And obviously there can be a lot of things that it's related to, but according to the company, they were also obviously impacted by Rona here. As they state here, quote, "We experienced the effect of the pandemic in all areas of our business, from delays in raw material deliveries to clinical and product development projects and absence of key persons in the company from time to time. Due to lockdowns and other pandemic-related measures, all our business meeting, marketing events, conferences, and expos were either canceled or turned virtual, slowing down the pace of our business development efforts. And I'm sure that's part of it, but still, I still feel it's a bit weird that that would impact the overall sales this much. But it could be related, as I've talked about many times on this channel the last couple of months. If we looked at Beyond Meat, the very good food company, Tattoo Chef, their Q2 results when it comes to the stores, obviously it's not the same kind of products, but it is food related, right? They were worse than they were hoping. And I think, and I've seen others talking about this too, that it's probably related to people during this time being on vacation, people going out more to eat at restaurants. So that could be part of the reason why we see that here too. At the same time, obviously, this is food for young ones. So I would imagine even if people go out more and traveling more, for the young ones, for the toddlers, you would imagine that they would still need to bring that food with them, right? So still, I don't think we should take too many conclusions before we know what's going on, because like with many great companies out there, they can't keep just flying up all the time, right? They need to take a breather. And again, this impact with the pandemic and being summertime and vacation, people taking their vaccines, so doing other things than just being at home, right? Could have impacted this way more. And there might be some information out there, I haven't gone that deep, that could be related to this too. And if I find that out later, I might actually talk about that. So stay tuned for that. But I do feel that it is important probably to, if you are invested in this company, I am not as of yet, you might really want to stay, current on this company for the next couple of quarters to just see how it develops. But hopefully it's going to start rising again, no doubt. So, but if we also take a look at their cash flow there, well, it's about 17.9 million, and it says here, including restricted cash and short-term bank deposit. And that sounds good, right? But obviously I would want to, and it says it has no loans liability as of June this year, but I would want to look at all of their liabilities. And right now on their page, they haven't put up any more specific information about more specific details on the overall financials, like they have with the one from Q1 of this year that ended in March, right? Where we get all the information here. So we haven't gotten that yet, and it might take a couple of more months before they're ready, because all of this information usually that comes out like this haven't been audited, right? So it takes time. So we have to wait for that. But if we just compare it with the Q1, we can see that they had about $19.5 million here, and in total, with restricted cash, short-term bank deposits, and trade receivables, around 25 million. And then the total amount of total liabilities and equity was around $22 million, right? So $200 million. And again, it's not so surprising. This is a small company. It is growing really fast. They are trading at a loss at the moment, but we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen. I do think that there's a lot of things with this company that is promising. This is not unusual when it is small companies that is trying to really break out there. So again, if we come to the question that I was also going to answer, is this an investment you want to take a look at now? Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but again, let's just take a look at the 52-week range. Well, it's been trading between 1.8 up to $5 Canadian dollars, and I think that was up during Christmas, around that when it was getting really popular, the stock, and it's gone down, so it's around the middle right now, which is interesting. But if we take a look at, as you know, I do like to look at the PS ratio, and it is about 82. Price to sales is 82, and I think that is obviously overvalued a lot, but again, not so strange for a small company like this, but it is overvalued, and considering what kind of money they're taking in. I mean, their market cap is around $260 million Canadian dollars, and then only getting in about 1.1 million per 3 months. Well, that is obviously from a value perspective not very impressive. But again, that doesn't mean that it couldn't be a great company with time, but this is definitely a long-term perspective if you are interested in this company. We're going to talk more about if they have a moat, so stay tuned for that. But if we take a look also what kind of holders they have here right now, I mean, 41% is actually insiders, and we like to see that in a company because that means that the CEO and the management team, they really believe in the company themselves. But obviously, there's almost no institutions in this. So we have this mutual fund here, Amplify Cleaner Living ETF. They own about 7,500 shares. But again, it's a very cheap stock, so really isn't very much of the overall company, right? But so this also tells us when it's this little institutions, not surprising at all. Basically, this company is unheard of. So that's also something to keep in mind, that it is obviously a riskier stock. Again, doesn't mean that it can't be a great company. I mean, this kind of companies, if they really are that disruptive, when they're going into a market where no one is really prepared for this, changing the way people eat, the way children and babies eat, that's going to obviously be disruptive, and it could be the kind of company where you have a 10 bagger, a 50 bagger, a 100 bagger. We don't know as of yet. But it is interesting, but it is riskier. So something you need to keep in mind. But also just want to give a more nuanced perspective. I don't want you guys to think that I'm negative about this company, because I am not. I have looked into this company quite a lot before. I have missed out in the last couple of months for sure. But I have looked at it a lot before because I do find it interesting. And this price to sales, obviously it is high, but it could change quite quickly too when they get all the pieces on the right place, right? When those pieces have been placed out, because we're going to take a look at that quickly. They are actually getting out there to a lot more stores. They're getting a lot of attention in media more and more. They're doing really well on Amazon, which we're going to talk about soon too. And when those pieces are put together and the time is right, then this company could really fly up there. So being invested in this company now could be really beneficial. But again, long-term perspective, I would say, if you're going in here. So if you are happy about this company or you are interested in this company, what do you have to look forward to? Well, quite a lot, I would say. If we take a look at their product line now, from which they're planning between 2021 to 2023, this is the first product they have, right? For toddlers from 12 months and upward, right? And again, it's a product that is for everyone. Whatever sensitivities you have, it is for you, basically, or for your child. And which means that no matter if you're vegan or you have any problems with milk and allergies or lactose, whatever that's related to that, you're good to go. Gluten sensitivities, you're good to go. Soy sensitivities, a lot of people are worried about that. And some people do actually have sensitivities. You're good to go. GMO free, and again, corn syrup free. And a lot of parents out there and a lot of people want that away from their product because it's a heavily processed product. So, and then during this year, the last couple of months, they came out with these Kids Complete Nutritional Drink, which is from 3 years plus, right? And I think this could be very interesting too for a lot of parents out there, because there's not always time to make maybe a proper snack or proper dinner. And this could be an alternative then when you really have to, or could be used as a snack in my eyes anyways. Guys, let me know down in the comments, how would you use these products, or do you use these products? And if you have used them, are you happy with it? That would be interesting to know. But we can see here, these are the kind of things, the other 3 parts here, they're not out yet as far as I know, but they're planning to get them out. And one thing that could be major here is the infant stage 1 nutrition, from basically when you're born to 12 months if you don't have the opportunity to breastfeed your children. Obviously, that would be the preferred one to do, but not everyone has that possibility. Or if you want to break as a mother, then this would be a healthier alternative. And also when you're ready to more spoon feed your children from 6 months and plus, you have these cereals, and then you have this whole complementary nutrition thing. Also, what I understand is that they're looking into investing in other products for adults as well and older kids. So they're basically covering all the areas. But also something that is impressive, and we've talked about this on the channel, I think it was back in, was it September, October, when they were started to sell on Amazon some of their product and it went really well. Became one of Amazon's most famous products when it comes to the baby aisles section, right? When it comes to selling baby food, they did really well, and monthly revenue has grown from 2020 to 2021 about 500% since it started. So that is really impressive numbers. And during 2021, they're growing fast, 16% average month over month. And on their own page, Else Nutrition, if you go in there, if you want to get more information about the company, the monthly revenue doubled since they started there and growing steadily, about 7% average month over month. And that's pretty decent, I would say. And close to 40% repeat buyers. I think that's pretty good. This means basically that when a person has ordered their products from their homepage, it's almost half of them that actually buys those products again. So that's a good sign. And what we do like here, they have 1,100 plus doors listed, but they're selling already at about 750 stores. And they're talking with dozens of natural food and grocery and drug retailers. That's about 5,000 doors. And they're selling on online platforms. More to come. And we can see here the growth trajectory they've had from 2020 to 2021. Take a look at the page yourself. But also what I find very intriguing here is Q4, that they are actually going to land on VitaCost, VitaCost or VitaCost, I'm not sure how you would say it in English, but that's actually a platform, an online platform that is Kroger owned, and we know how big Kroger is. And it seems that they're going to start selling their products there. Impressive. But we know that Kroger is big. We know that Walmart is very big as well. And it's the same thing there, that they're going to start selling their products there too. So we could have a whole different kind of revenue to look forward to, which means that PS ratio that I want to see go down from 82 to something much lower anyways, which would make this company even more attractive in my eyes. So we do see that we have quite a lot of things to look forward to, especially if you are invested in this company. And maybe you probably know this, that in social media, they are getting more and more attention. There are some people like Alicia Silverstone, if you've heard of her. She was quite popular in the 90s and the beginning of the 2000s. Quite famous movie star. She's been vegan for many years. She's been on Oprah Winfrey talking about that. And she is part of kind of like promoting this company, talking about it on YouTube and how good it is for her children. This is a good product. And then we also have Hilaria Baldwin here, who is the wife of Alec Baldwin, the famous actor. And my understanding is that she is also very famous on social media. I looked at her Instagram account. She almost have 1 million followers there, where she apparently has talked about Else too, and she thinks it's a good way, a good food to use when actually raising your children. And then we also have our Donna from Beverly Hills 90 something. If you remember from the 90s, I sure remember from the 90s, Beverly Hills, which was one of my favorite shows in the beginning of the 90s, in the middle of the 90s. It was probably one of the most famous series of all time during that time. And Donna, the character who played the person who played Donna, which was Tori Spelling, or is Tori Spelling. Hey guys, let me know down in the comments if you used to watch Beverly Hills. Maybe I'm just that old that I'm the only one who's seen that. Apparently, she has been starting to use this product too. And it does seem, if we take a look at here, that is something that she's happy with. So take a look at this.
Okay, parents, stop what you're doing. Listen to this. This is for you. Have you been searching for a dairy-free alternative to a fabulous nutritional shake for your kids? I have found the best tasting one, the best one for you. This is Else. You get it, something else. It is plant-based, it is soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, organic, non-GMO, and it tastes really good. It comes in chocolate and vanilla. There's also a toddler one, and it can be a meal replacement. It can go into smoothies, it can go into shakes. Bo loves it, so it's great for her.
All right, so that's certainly good news that she seems to care about this company that much. So again, even though I might have seemed a little negative or a little skeptic before, I still do believe that there's a lot of runway for this company. I mean, in a good way. There's a market there that I think needs to be met, and I think this company has a really strong moat. And what do I mean with that? Well, they have something specific that, as far as I know, and please let me know down in the comments, folks, that this company really doesn't have any competition in forms of their product, right? A product that is for everyone when it comes to children's food and for really small children as well. I think this is a product that a lot of parents out there have been waiting for years. And according to their own page, Else Nutrition, when it comes to what parents feel about this company, they really love their products, and that tells us something. So I think one of the things that could make a really change for this company with time is that more people find out about them, right? So that's something to look forward to. Maybe the only thing that I could see a bit risky, except that people are not interested in this stock or the product, is that maybe sooner or later, even though now they seem to have a really great moat, there doesn't seem to be anyone that could compete with their kind of product, right? Is that when other baby food companies that are super big, that are much larger, when they actually decide to go into this market and create the same kind of product, if Else hasn't actually already then established and gotten their brand out there, the brand awareness, well, that could be an issue, right? So that's something to keep in mind, considering that the other companies out there probably have much bigger purses for sure. But we see the same thing when it comes to Beyond Meat, right? That is kind of a small company compared to a lot of big food companies out there. Yet they have one thing, and it is that they focus totally on these products, right? This is their total expertise, the plant-based food. And I would say the same is also true with Tesla, that they had this issue from the beginning, right? They were a really small company. They were creating a niche. They were expert at one thing. And usually a lot of people were worried about that. Sooner or later, the ICE car developers, the old legacy car makers, they would start doing this like they're doing now. But what I like about that, if we compare it to Else and Beyond Meat, is that they were way too late, right? And the companies that were experts in putting all of their effort, like when they wake up, this is the only thing they focus on, then that could be the huge difference in the long term. And that's what I'm hoping for Else Nutrition here too. I think that's a possibility, which will give them an edge in years ahead. All right, folks, that was it for today. I truly hope you got a lot of value from today's video. And if you did, make sure to smash that like button and help me out. And if you want to keep getting more information regarding this company or other plant-based companies like Tattooed Chef, Beyond Meat, Oatly, to name a few, make sure to subscribe and don't forget that magical bell button. Thank you, folks. I truly appreciate your help. And as always, this was not financial advice. These were just my own thoughts and opinions. It's important to do your own due diligence. Thank you, folks, and have a really wonderful Friday. Peace out.